Thank you for staying with us. With about 18 local governments, Ondo is known as the Sunshine State. In just a few days, a new candidate will be elected as the governor of the state. With around 17 political parties participating, INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission, is making final preparations to ensure a smooth and seamless electoral process, allowing the right candidate to be democratically selected or elected rather to lead the people for the next 4 years. We have our Abuja Bureau Chief, Ayodele Ozugbakun, standing by from Ondo State to bring us up to speed with details coming out of the state. Ayo, good morning. Quickly bring us up to speed with developments in the state, especially regarding suspected political thugs striking in Ondo State, injuring about 6 persons in Idore. That's what the papers are reporting this morning. Tell us what the situation is like in preparation for the election.
Okay, Veronica, I'm in Akure. Akure is the state capital of Ondo State, and in the last 24, 48 hours, it has been politicians winding down their campaigns, trying to, solicit for votes. The All Progressive Congress, led by the Vice President yesterday, actually rounded off their campaign. And statutorily, today is the end of campaigns for all political parties. And we expect that the People's Democratic Party, as you'll be seeing on TVC later today, we also round off that their campaign is expected to be led by the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who will be in the same MKO Abiola Park to round off that campaign. Earlier in the week, that's on Monday, the candidate for the Labour Party, that Mr. Peter Obi, was there to round off the campaign of the Labour Party, and the Labour Party candidacy is still very, very controversial. As I told you, we had Mr. Shola Bisheni here yesterday, but today we are hearing that the Court of Appeal might have upturned that is candidacy. And what is happening in Ondo State is nothing compared to what happened in Edo State. The level of docility and what I see from out of the 2 million registered voters, they've said that 1.7 million actually, a little bit above 1.7 million actually collected the PVC, and from that 1.7 million, it's predicted that it might not be up to 30% that will come out from the look of things, because if the state capital has been like this, I've been here since Monday, the state capital, everybody is going about their duties and everything. It's not even looking at like an election atmosphere, but by investigating into this, what's happening, why must the situation be like this? 48 hours to the election, I discovered that, look, a lot of people, because of impact of government on the people, recent years has not been felt. So a lot of people, they've lost hope in the electoral process. A lot of people are not so keen about those people that are contesting. Now we have 17 candidates. Out of that 17 candidates, we have 2 candidates, one from the People's Democratic Party and another one from the All Progressive Congress, the incumbent governor. In spite of that, a lot of people are not too enthusiastic about what is going to happen. In Edo State, by this time, we felt that, there's this balance of power, the gladiators, the godfathers, the people that want to succeed in government and everything. It was something that went down to the wires, that on election day, you could not say that, look, hopefully that this is the person that will emerge at the end of the day before election day. You cannot predict. So the same situation we have in Ondo State here, we can safely say, it might be between the major political parties, and some people are even looking for upsets. And one of those people that are looking for upsets is the candidate of the NNPP, Gbenga Edema. Gbenga is feeling that, look, he was a member of the All Progressive Congress. He participated in the primaries of the All Progressive Congress. He was one of the governorship candidates, and he lost out to the incumbent governor, that's Governor Lucky Orimisan Ayedatiwa, and he went to NNPP to seek his fortune. How popular is NNPP in Ondo State? How how has NNPP been able to impact in Ondo State? The presidential election which they had in Ondo State, what did the NNPP score? And I'm going to ask Mr. Edema about this. Thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
You left the All Progressive Congress in protests, and you felt that primary did not favor you, and a lot of people will call it as, see it as desperation on your part to go and pitch your tent with the NNPP.
Let me give this to our hero, King Sunny Ade, when he said, Olúwa ló yàn mí ló pè mí wá, gbogbo àwọn àyànfẹ́ rẹ̀ ló ṣe lógo, kìtàkìtà ò rọ́ o, gìrìgìrì ò rọ́ o. This is God's own project.
Really?
Yes.
God told you to leave APC to NNPP.
I am being directed by anything I do in this game is as directed by God. It's not me. It's God's own project, and you will see what happened on the 17th of November.
Just 48 hours from now.
You will see what happened. That's why it's God. I told you in this station in March that APC did not have a candidate. Did I not? I said, what happened to APC in Bayelsa? What happened to APC in Zamfara? We still have to APC on those states if nothing was done about it. And nothing was done. Right now, as I'm talking to you, there are two great cases against the candidature of Lucky Aiyedatiwa and Adelami at the Federal High Court Akure, one by Agbola Ajayi, and the other one by me. And my own case is that
I don't want us to talk about the court cases because it can be subject.
But there are two cases against
your prospect on Saturday's election.
My prospect that God has said I should move on, I should proceed, I will overtake and recover for the fortune for the people of Ondo State, and that is what I'm doing.
Quite interesting,
I'm
dramatic.
the voice of God, and God will manifest His greatness in my life and the life of the people of Ondo State. Comes out on day 2024.
Across the 18 local governments, do you have your observers? Do you have people that are going to monitor the election?
Thank God.
Do you have the structure?
Thank God. INEC released the list of all the agents that were sent to INEC about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we have agents in more than 2,000 polling units out of 3,993 polling units. No political party has agents in all the 3,993 polling units. Not even PDP, not even APC. So it's not strange that we do not cover all the polling units, but I know that we have agents in over 2,000 polling units.
A lot of people feel that you are just here to negotiate your way back to the APC. Maybe Lucky Aiyedatiwa will call you after this because just to be visible that, look, it's just a waste of time. That NNPP, what is the impact of NNPP in Ondo State?
One thing I want to tell you, there are two people on the ballot, the candidate and the party. You can have a big party with a bad candidate. It's like a market. I may not have a big party, but I am also a known factor in the Ondo State politics from the days of SDP up to now. And I have moved from one party to the other, and every party I moved to, even when they appear to be innocuous, end up winning the election for which the next election. When I was in PDP was not in government. Eddie was in government in Ondo State up to 2003. By 2003, Agago won. In 2009-10, Mimiko won because I went to Labour Party, and that was the platform that gave me the position I had as a member of the Ondo State House of Assembly. In 2014, when Jonathan Goodluck was still the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I went to APC. APC won in 2015. This is not going to be different, my brother. God directs the affairs of his people.
Why do you think Ondo State people are laid back? Why do you think they are not so much enthusiastic about what is going to happen in the next 48 hours?
They might be because, one, they have lost confidence in the existing government. A government that cannot pay WAEC school fees and yet spend over 800 million naira to erect fence in the government house. Why they cannot even pay up to 200 million naira as WAEC fees for students. A lot of them missed their admission this year because Ondo State government has the habit of paying their WAEC fees. But this government, rather than paying WAEC fees, was busy spending millions of naira renovating the government house. The Commissioner for Finance spent over 90 million naira renovating the office, not the Minister of Finance, or the office of the Commissioner of Finance. So they are not happy about the government. There's hunger in the land, and now that's what caused the apathy. But I know we already said that your power is in your thumb. Go out on Saturday, go and complete and drive away these people. That's why you appear to see the apathy. So they are just looking at, it's not that they won't come out on Saturday, but I think they just want to keep their up to their chest, their decision to their chest. See what will happen. At least more than 500,000 people will come out on Saturday to vote, and they will vote out APC.
We saw a candidate in Edo State that made a lot of noise in the media and everything, and it didn't have the real structure on ground. At the end of when the results came out, it just had 22,000 votes. Do you think you are going to have even up to this?
What was his pedigree? He had never participated, he had never won councillorship before. So there's a difference between making noise and different working. And that is exactly what you see on ground. Noise, noise, noise. Noise without accomplishment. We don't make noise, but we will accomplish what God has given us to do. And you will see it on Saturday by the grace of God.
In terms of level of preparedness in part of security agencies and INEC, you've gone through what they have for you in stock at the stakeholders meeting. Do you have confidence on the exercise?
Very well, my brother. I have no reason. I have participated in so many elections, and I have not seen anything that is different. What the security agencies are doing, or what INEC is doing, that is different from what I have experienced in the past. So I have confidence in what they are doing.
I want to thank you, and I want to wish you the best of luck,
Thank you so
Mr. Gbenga Edema.
Yeah.
The candidate.
So we'll rejoice together come Sunday 17th. And mind you, my birthday is tomorrow 15th. So this is a birthday gift for me by God. Thank you.
All right. Quite dramatic there. So the candidate of the NNPP, the candidate, Mr. Gbenga Edema, was a former local government chairman, a lawyer, a former chairman of the State House of Assembly, and he's saying that that in spite of the prediction that it might be between the big two, that is going to spin a surprise there by, ahead of the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressive Congress. And I told you earlier, the enthusiasm is not in the air, the atmosphere is not tensed, everything seems normal, Veronica.
Interesting that to hear the candidate of the NNPP speak so glowingly about himself and also looking forward to success at the end of the day. But there's this rumor making the rounds about the current governor that I want you to clear, and it's about his health, the state of his health. There are those who are saying that he has health issues and so might not be fit for a second term.
Let me tell you, when we have elections here, it's about, any of these candidates to throw the best they know, at the other candidates. For that, I can tell you, I'm not holding forth for him. I was still in his office yesterday. I met with Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. I saw him. He was holding meetings with the Lagos State Governor, the former Deputy Governor of Edo State, holding meeting with Governor Hope Uzodinma. He held a very long meeting with them before he could attend to journalists later that evening. I saw him. He was walking. He was all around the place. So I don't know. I can't comment. I'm not his doctor about the state of health. But trust politicians. Anytime they want to do their thing, they come up with these things. But not saying that I can speak comfortably about the state of health of Lucky Aiyedatiwa, but I saw him. He was still moving around, and he was still at the campaign ground yesterday, all through yesterday, at least for up to some 12, 13 hours. I can tell you that I saw him, and he was busy throughout. It wasn't looking like somebody that is not fit.
Interesting. Now, let's talk about INEC's level of preparedness. Sensitive materials we hear are already on ground, but just give us a sense of how prepared INEC is as we speak.
Yes, normally, as of yesterday, the sensitive materials arrived at the Central Bank of Nigeria in Akure. And when it arrived in Akure, they had agents of party, security agencies, and some other officials to inspect it. They didn't allow cameras to access the Central Bank of Nigeria. They just wanted journalists and security agencies and stakeholders to just sight the material. But at about 10 a.m. this morning, the proper distribution, where they will be allowing cameras and everything for transparency to actually see the proper distribution onwards to the local governments, 18 local governments, and the wards that you have around Ondo State. The proper distribution will be done this morning, and we expect that each of the polling units, the Independent National Electoral Commission said they are going to have electoral officers, EO1, in each of the polling units, and they have 3,993 polling units, and they are going to have 3 assistant electoral officers That means 4 officials of the ad hoc committee and INEC staff in each of those polling units. And altogether, when you do your calculation, it's like more than 15,000 officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission will be manning the polling units, and security agencies that will be manning the polling units, and going to over 40,000 from estimation. The police give us a figure of 37,000. Civil defense, they are coming up with another 6,000. At the end of the day, all the sister security agencies that will be coming together to man this election will be excess of close to 50,000 security personnel will be on ground to actually conduct Saturday's election. Veronica.
Right, and with all the political parties having some issues peculiar to them some days before the elections, what are the major factors that will be determining the outcome of this election, and what are the major constituencies that are strong enough to determine the candidates?
Yeah. Talking about those factors that will determine the outcome of this election, Ondo State is a very funny state. Gbenga Edema, that just finished speaking here, is also from the southern senatorial district of the states. So it's like an unwritten law. 80% of those candidates that will be coming out from the strong political parties, they are from the southern senatorial district. So the battle is going to be from the south. But they don't have the numerical strength to actually win the overall election. Talking about the numerical strength domicile in the central senatorial district. That is Ondo Central. Now in Ondo Central, the numerical strength is enough for anybody. It will decide who becomes the distinct. But from the governor, but from antecedent, it's not. It's a densely populated area, but the turnout for election from when you check from 1999 down till now, the turnout for election for the Ondo Central has not been too encouraging. Where they have block votes, where people are gingered, where you can say, oh, the level of political awareness is very high, is Ondo North. So at any given election since 1999, when you check the statistics, you discover that the turnout in Ondo North has been quite encouraging and quite impressive. So maybe in 2022, they'll be leaning on the same Ondo North to actually save the day. But in Ondo South is where we have the difficult terrain. We have Ilaje local government, we have SL, the local government, and those local governments, we need to access the Atlantic Ocean for most of those to get to those communities. So INEC might be having a kind of a Herculean task in getting their logistics across this local government. That is Ilaje and SL, the local government in the southern senatorial district. Veronica.
I was looking at the statistics that was shared with regards to the voting population, and we see that the youth are dominating. And I'm wondering if this would be the outcome in terms of we would see them turn out at the end of the day, because you have mentioned something about the atmosphere not looking like there is an election going to happen, and there are concerns that there might be some level of voter apathy, and as well as the matter of participation of the youth in the election.
Yes, Veronica, I've covered elections in Nigeria, and I can tell you authoritatively, because of what I've seen on ground since Monday that I got here, I can tell you that look at that the last presidential election on those states was actually won by the candidates of the All Progressive Congress, and people came out, and most of the parties, they actually left their alliance to these political parties to come out to vote for the candidates of the All Progressive Congress, being from the Southwest. And he had, Bola Tinubu had one of the highest votes from this particular Ondo state. But I cannot predict that this will rub off in any way for this election, and the turnout might not be too encouraging because of the level of enthusiasm. People we've spoken with, we've gone out with the commercial riders, we've spoken to market women, we've spoken to people on the streets. It's just a matter of let Saturday come and go. Now, it's going to be reflected on the number of people that actually took their PVC. So you should mark it, 1.7 million people actually have their PVC. So statistically, we expect ordinarily, if we are to give it a fair contest, if we are to give it, a kind of something that is encouraging, I'll be shocked if we have 40% from this 1.7 million people come out on Saturday. I'll be pleasantly shocked, surprised. Veronica.
I was asking, What were these people saying? Why are they not enthusiastic about the election?
The status quo, poverty, and what the politicians are trying to do now is that Yaga Africa said it earlier, that's trying to induce people, encourage party leaders to actually reach out to their people, to actually encourage them to come out to vote. Ordinarily, they are not motivated. The level of unemployment, the infrastructural deficit, the decay in education, and a lot of people will say that, look, on those states, they've seen the best of years. They are even talking about the achievement of Pajashin, talking about late Pajashin, talking about the achievement of late Chief Adefarati that ruled from 1999 to 2003. Even as at that 2003, Olusegun Agagu, great man, late too. You can even see from all the past governors they had in Ondo State, the only governor that is alive is Rahman Olusegun Mimiko. Even the former governor, and it's only that Mimiko that had actually spent 2 years, his tenure in office, and is only the one that is alive since the establishment of this state in 1976. Very, very shocking. So a lot of people, they've lost hope. They will refer to days of glory. They will refer to the days of Mimiko, refer to the days of Agagu, Adefarati, but they will tell you that in recent years, that they don't have any reference point, that the level of poverty across the states, the level of development, infrastructural development across the states, the state of education, they will always tell you about the mother and child hospital of Mimiko in the health sector. They will always talk about the mega schools. They will always refer to the dome. They will always refer to a kind of reference point, and saying that the ball has been dropped and the level of enthusiasm has equally dropped too. That the people coming out now, they are not people that they know very well, and they don't know their pedigree. This governor now, he has just spent 10 months, so we can't judge him with 10 months. Don't forget that the former governor, Olurotimi Akeredolu, died last December, so he just took over office 10 months ago. So it's not enough time to judge his administration or how it's going to turn out to be. But he's seeking re-election into the Alagbaka House for the last time. So a lot of people are saying that, well, let's see how it goes.
And what's the security structure looking like now? For those you spoke to, are they very optimistic about a level of protection on election day?
Yes, the Inspector General of Police just announced yesterday that DIG Alabi has just been, drafted to oversee all the security, operations for this particular election. And we also have another AIG to complement him, and the Commissioner of Police in Abuja, that Olatunji Disu, used to be head of hierarchy, used to be the Commissioner of Police in Anambra State. We also complement what they have on ground, but they've told us that they have 37,000 men across. And don't forget, polling units, where you don't have policemen to man the polling unit, you have policemen to man the polling units. They've said each of the polling units that 4 policemen will be manning the polling units, but not armed. But across strategic locations, you see armed policemen complemented by other security agencies. So, talking in terms of security, I'm thinking what I've seen so far, I can say we are good to go. So even the Chief of Army Staff is expected to be in the city today to actually complement the efforts, talking to his men, people around here, so that they are going to complement whatever police will be doing on Saturday. Don't forget, the police will be the lead security agency to actually complement the election for the Independent National Electoral Commission by INEC on Saturday.
All right, senior political correspondent Ayodele Ozubaku, thank you so much for bringing us up to speed with developments out of Ondo State. We'll definitely keep tabs for any other information we need to get from you and every other person there, bringing us blow-by-blow account of what is happening leading up to the election on Saturday. Thank you once again.